Welcome into I Said What I Said. I'm Brad McKay. That's Tyson Gentry. This is our NFL betting episode, Week 8 edition. God, Tyson, we're already halfway through, basically. What the hell is going on?
It's flying by, but everybody's injured and hurt, and we're finding out maybe some of these fast starts weren't quite what we expected, or otherwise we just got done with the Rams Vikings game. Total face mask on Sam Darnold. Gotta throw the flag. Robbed us of free football.
Yeah, but we'll tell you about where to find our more picks at the end. That was a good result for me in the Discord, and which Tyson will tell you about. But enough of that. We got to look in the past. You guys know how we do. We don't shy away from anything. And honestly, Tyson shouldn't right now. He's pretty hot. I am not. I got to figure it out, man. I went 3-4 minus 1.34 units. I get the teasers home. Rams -1, Cardinals +8, Lions +7.5, Seahawks +9. So the teaser legs are working. I think we're cooking with gas there. And so that's a precursor to what's coming this week. We got more data. The bookmakers know what they're doing. It's a little bit more on the simulations, and I think that's something we can take advantage. Hint. Play of the week, Dolphins team total over 20.5. Didn't get home. Just disgusting thing that I did there. Packers, I got hooked on -2.5. They went on a walk-off field goal, but they won by 2. Then that 49ers money line, I'm an idiot. I faded Andy Reid as an underdog. Patrick Mahomes as an underdog. Faded him off a bye. Come on. 49ers were in an infirmary at the end, but oof, boy, that was a tough look.
You were kind of being a hater last week to normal Brad. I feel like there was a different version of you. You were off Georgia. You were off Andy Reid off a bye. I mean, those are two things that I would put in your obituary at this point. He's a man who always takes Andy Reid off a bye. I went 3-2 this week, +9.4 units. Got Saquon Barkley 90+ rush yards home in my play of the week. I said that I didn't want to go to 100 because if I lost on 97, I'd be upset. I could have gone to 165 and been just fine. And that was +100. Raiders team total under 17.5. Just an ATM at this point. Eagles Giants under 42.5. Eagles unders also kind of turning into a bit of an ATM there. Jets Steelers under 38.5. Bad read. I didn't think the Steelers were going to damn near cover this number by themselves, so that one's on me. And then Patriots Jags, dude. We were told it was going to be windy, the weather's going to stink, all this stuff. I get up, it's middle of the first quarter or whatever, and I'm like, well, that was fun.
Well, it almost was for a long time the under, and then all of a sudden, Trevor Lawrence decided he could play football again.
Dude, I was watching. Maybe it's because I was groggy, but I was like, they're moving the ball too much to not score points.
When you get older, kids, groggy means hungover.
Hey, somebody's got to do it.
I'm down 11.19 units on the year. I got to get it together. Tyson's carrying it. He's up 2.3 units. So as a podcast, we're down 8.89. So if I can get it together, Tyson keeps staying hot. There's a chance second half of the year that's our half. That's what we're going to shoot for. So no better time than to start this week.
It's money-making time.
All right, Tyson, you got the T-box, baby. You've been hot. You've been up. You had 2 winning weeks in a row. Where are you going this week for your play of the week?
Check. Jalen McMillan touchdown play of the week in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers game. This is a guy they looked at in the end zone a few times last week after Mike Evans went down, and then Chris Godwin goes down later in that game. No Bucky Irving either, so it could be a Rachaad White game. It could be a Sean Tucker game. I'm not totally sure. One thing I know is that Jalen McMillan, the rookie out of Washington, is getting in the end zone. I mean, he's the big body guy that's going to fill that role. You can take Cade Otton if you want, but I do envision a back shoulder fade. Jalen McMillan gets it done.
And they were targeting him last game. I mean, they wanted to get him in the end zone, so I think this is a good play. So get that in. Tyson, my play of the week, Cowboys +4.5. It's -112 on DraftKings. We previewed this a little bit earlier in the week. Now, I think this we're going to get CLV on this. So this was Monday night. I'm not sure the Deebo Samuel thing. Like, he has got pneumonia. He's in the hospital. Apparently, he's shooting hoops in the team facility after that. Like, I'm super confused. So I didn't want to call him out because pneumonia, my God. But if that's your back shooting, I'm confused about this whole thing.
It's like when Malik Neighbors went to the Travis Scott concert with a concussion. It's hard to really tell kind of what's going through their heads.
Yeah, so I don't know what the deal is with that. But here's what I do know. George Kittle's banged up. Brandon Ayuk's out for the year. And this defense that the 49ers have is not as good as we've seen in the years past. Cowboys are coming off a bye. They have been much better on the road than at home, strangely. I think this 49ers team they might be able to run all over the Cowboys. That is what I'm concerned about. But I think the Cowboys they'll figure out a way to attack that. Now, I say that they got shredded up last year by the Packers on the same, Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan type of Shanahan zone scheme. So that does worry me a bit. And this defense is worse than it was last year. But I think this Cowboys offense is going to have a little bit for the 49ers. I think you take anything above 3, this is the play to make. So play of the week for me, Cowboys plus 4.5.
This game is terrifying. I have no idea how this one's going to play out. I can see both teams winning this game by 30. So I'm glad that you have the guts to pick a side here. My next play is going to be the Atlanta Falcons minus 2.5 in that same game that I have Jalen McMillan scoring a touchdown. I think that maybe a little bit of an overreaction. I thought Atlanta was in a really tough spot last week. We kind of talked about that a bit on our last betting show, and they just got pummeled by Seattle. But that's the NFL. Sometimes teams lose by 30 and then we bury all of them, and then they come back and go, hey, we're actually not that bad. I think they do get it done. Tampa Bay, like, without these weapons, it's so tough. It's just going to be really hard.
Speaking of being buried, somebody who's coming back to life like the Undertaker, Tyreek Hill over 6.5 receptions plus 120 on DraftKings. This is an absurd line, honestly. So I'm taking this for the official play here, over 6.5. I'm going to ladder this up to 10.
Nice.
That'll be in the Discord. If you guys are listening to it now, I'm just letting you know.
Are you lighter in yards too?
I don't know about yards, but I think they're going to get the ball in his hands quick. I think he's going to have 5 catches in the first quarter. He's already talking about fantasy owners, get me back. Miami Dolphins beat writers saying this is the best they've looked in practice since the preseason. Tyson, I mean, there's energy again. They want to play. Like we were texting, we're like, dude, these guys don't care. Tyreek Hill, Waddle are frustrated. All of a sudden, Tua is back. They're like ready to go again. Tyreek Hill is going to be the focal point. He's going to get the ball. It's going to be pop screens, pop passes, throw it out wide, and get him involved. I'm laddering this up to 10, but official play is over 6.5 plus 120 on DK.
I'm going to stay in that same game with you, and I'm going to take the Miami Dolphins team total. And I'm actually going to go just one above that number at 26.5 on DraftKings to get my plus money, another plus money play here. But I think this has to be a 4-touchdown game for them. I think Devon Achane, reminds people maybe I can put up crooked numbers too when there's not 9 guys in the box. Raheem Mostert's healthy. This offense is rolling when all of those guys are playing and when they have a maestro like Tua that can run timing stuff. Brad mentions the fantasy football thing because he owns Tyreek Hill, but I really think you can probably fire up all these guys this week. There's a chance that, if not now, then never probably this season for the Miami Dolphins to score a large number. Early in the year, it was like beginning of the season, Dolphins are going to score 70 on everybody. That didn't come true. They can't even score 17 points against Gus Bradley a week ago. So we're upset with the Miami Dolphins. I think this is the one where they go, you know what? We're just going to score 50.
And the Cardinals coming off a big win, Monday Night Football, emotional win.
And Johnny Gaines allows so many yards between the 20s. And if Tua is, who we think he is, if he's back to being Tua and he's accurate in the red zone, they can convert a lot of points.
The Dolphins scored a ton of points. Is he better than Justin Herbert? Are we going to get back into that conversation again? No, but Tyson, so I'm adding this to my card, not officially in the podcast, because but I'll be playing this. I'll just put it that way. So I like that play a lot. I'm simpatico with you there. My next one, Eagles Bengals over 47.5. That's minus 115 on FanDuel. Now, Tyson said the Eagles kind of being a little ATM. I think that under is being a little ATM. I think that changes on Sunday. Now, the Bengals are able to attack through the air. This Eagles secondary, this Eagles defense has looked much better in recent weeks. They played Deshaun Watson, the corpse of, and Daniel Jones. Now, how can this go under if the Eagles are able to get pressure on Joe Burrow? They're able to eat up that terrible offensive line. So that is a factor that you got to consider here. But Joe Burrow is very good at getting the ball out of his hands quickly. T. Higgins, Jamar Chase. I think the Bengals are going to be able to score points. Now, okay, Eagles offense. Everybody's saying, they weren't that impressive against the Giants. I hate people now, especially analysts. They weren't that impressive. All you had to do was run the football to win an NFL game. You're going to say it wasn't impressive? Your quarterback threw the ball 12 times, and you're going to say that wasn't impressive. Shut the hell up. You don't know what you're talking about. It just drives me insane. That was a dominating game. Unbelievable. In this game, Tyson, we're going to have to see something different. I think we do. It's going to be more of a passing attack. Devontae Smith's going to have a big game. A.J. Brown's going to have a big game against the Bengals secondary. And Saquon Barkley, I think he's going to be able to rip it up on the ground again. This, to me, screams points, and it's not just coming from the Bengals side.
Which wide receiver finishes this game with the most yards?
Devontae Smith.
Okay, that's bold. That's where my head was leaning to, and then I was like, what if T. Higgins gets matched up on Darius Slay a bunch? And what if it's just big body wide receiver on the outside? I do think that this is a pretty talented matchup. My next one, Brad, I'm taking the Green Bay Packers here with the points. I think that Jacksonville still stinks. I think they were benefited quite a bit by being able to stay over in London. Doug said, call an ambulance, but not for me. And then this is the time of year when maybe he's going to be in some trouble. Seriously, what is going on with the Patriots? Like, are we removing Gerard Mayo? What exactly is going on? I'm confused. Middle of the week, middle of the year, it's an AFC East thing. But I think the Green Bay is just markedly better. And they're finding a way to involve all these weapons. Last week, Jaden Reed wasn't really involved. He's kind of still banged up. I think it's a hamstring. But when he's rolling, Dontavian Wicks got in the end zone. Like, all of these guys that we were talking about preseason are finding their footing. And I just think the Packers are pretty good. And this might be a game that they drop, but I don't think you're scared of a limited Travis Etienne, Tank Bigsby, Dearness Johnson matchup because at the end of the day, it's Brian Thomas Jr. bust for this passing game right now as far as explosives.
And the Packers defense has been so much better. I can't emphasize much how much better they are with Jeff Hafley.
It's going to be
that slap from last year.
Jair Alexander and Xavier McKinney shading to one side of the field over the only guy that can move the sticks for Jacksonville.
Evan Ingram, keep an eye out, though. I will say, tight end. It's been getting more targets. Tyson Love's getting hooked. Watch out for the 3.5. But no, I like the Packers. I do like the Packers a lot. All right, I teased a little bit. It's teaser central for me to close out the stretch. Now, Tyson, I'm going to call this Are you out of your mind teaser. Let's get the Browns up to 14.5 and the Panthers up to 16. Now, these are minus 120 on DraftKings. Okay, why in the world are you taking this? Let's talk about the Browns angle first. So this is Jameis Winston as a starting quarterback. We've been begging the Browns to make this change. Now they were forced to do it. This is a bump. This is the Browns getting a bump from Deshaun Watson being out. It sucks towards Achilles. We don't wish players get hurt, but they're going to benefit from Jameis Winston being the starting quarterback. This offensive line for the Browns is also the healthiest it's been. And that includes the start of the season. So that's a huge boost for them here. Plus, we get it over 2 touchdowns. Plus, they're at home. Plus, the Ravens are coming off a huge win down in Tampa. Now you got to come back. You got to face a divisional opponent. Kevin Stefanski not calling the plays. It's Ken Dorsey. It's something different that they haven't seen before. Tyson, I'm telling you, Browns plus 14.5. Love that leg. Panthers, you're out of your mind. Bryce Young starting, you're crazy. It's Pat Surtain back. They're horrible. They just got ripped up by Marcus Mariota. You're crazy. Well, the Broncos, from a neutral game state, some advanced metrics say that they're actually the worst team in the league in terms of moving the ball down the field and putting up points on the board. So when they're behind, they're really good. When they've been ahead, they've been really good. They're front runners. There's a chance to me, Tyson, that they just want to run the football because they had so much success against the Saints. We just see the clock tick, tick, tick. They don't have Bo Nix put the ball in the air a ton. That doesn't hit the ground a ton. And so this clock is moving a lot. So I think, at 16 for the Panthers going on the road, everybody thinks they're dead. This, to me, feels like a bounce back spot. I don't think they're going to win, but you're giving me damn near 3 possessions. Come on.
If you lose this one, like the fallout is going to be legendary. You're going to be so mad. That's all I'm thinking about right now. Like, if the Panthers lose by 35 points, dude, you're going to be so upset.
But I did preface it saying you're out of your mind, teaser. So I'm going into this like, dude, what are you doing?
I love it. I do not have the confidence in either one of these teams that you have right now. I'm going under 40.5 here for my final play. Saints at Chargers. This is scary because I think that J.K. Dobbins and the crew, Kamani Vidal, can just rip up the Saints rush defense the way that they've looked lately. Or it's under 41, on DraftKings. But I don't really know how much the Saints are going to score either, right? This Chargers defense is good. I think everybody just kind of got a taste of it on Monday night. This number not starting with a 3 is really the only reason that I landed here. And I could end up losing this game, but to me, I said I was going to play Chargers unders until they didn't hit. One didn't hit, and I got off the wagon. And of course, it goes way under there on Monday night. This might just have to be a weekly thing. At the end of the year, they're going to be 13-4 on the under.
yeah, they're going to have to start putting in the 20s at that rate. I'm playing the Chargers angle with you. Now, Tyson, I call this the don't suck teaser because I got the Jets teased down to 1 and the Chargers teased down to 1 at -120 on DraftKings. I just don't know how the Patriots coming off of the overseas trip after your head coach calls you out. Are people like if Bill Belichick does it and the guys won a Super Bowl? It's like we should probably kick it in the ass a little bit. It's like, who are you, Gerard Mayo? Like, yeah, you're a great player at coaching. We have no clue. On the other side, the Jets, sure. Yeah, it didn't look quite as good against the Steelers as we thought. But, another week with Devontae Adams in the picture. The running defense was awful, but Tyson, they're going to be able to get after Drake May, I think, with an awful Patriots offensive line. Force him to throw the ball. Is Ahmad Gardner, Sauce Gardner going to pick anything off? Who knows? There's no way I can see the Jets losing this one. Knock on wood. And for the Chargers side, listen, the defense, Tyson mentioned it. The defense is really good. I don't know how the Saints are going to move the football. It's either Spencer Rattler or Jake Haener. It looks like it's going to be Rattler. On the flip side, Chargers want to run the football. They're going to be able to on the Saints defense. It's going to be a lot of J.K. Dobbins. It's going to be a lot of stuff. I think they're finally going to be able to punch it in the end zone. Like they were able to move the football against Jonathan Gannon's defense when facing the Cardinals. They just weren't able to score in the end zone. But I don't think that's going to be a problem here. I think they're going to move it left and right. Dennis Allen's going to be on the hot seat, the scalding hot seat. This teaser gets home.
Two things in that Jets game that I'm interested in is Hunter Henry, over 35.5 yards. He's been just a beast since Drake May's taken over, and that number feels a little short. They don't have anybody else to throw the football to. And then, Brett, could I talk you into Devontae Adams' first touchdown scorer plus 600? That's something that I'm going to have to look at later in the week, but it does feel like maybe they're going to be a little embarrassed. Rodgers went out and got his guy. It was a horrible debut for him. They get blown out, and then it's going to be as soon as we get down the field, I'm throwing this thing back shoulder. Put him out wide. He's playing in the slot. Like, what are we doing? He had a whole week to learn the plays now.
What's him plus 2 or 2+ touchdowns? Excuse me.
Let me take a peek here. You're crazy to even consider something like that. I don't know how you just make these massive leaps. I'm trying to talk you into just a first touchdown scorer, and you want they don't have 2 up. Oh yes, they do. Plus 900.
Interesting.
You want them at plus 4 or 4+?
What is that?
It's not even listed, but I'm sure somewhere around 10,000 to 1.
It's interesting, Tyson. The first touchdown, I don't like playing those really because Breece Hall can just rip one, and then now we're pissed. But 2+, I mean, Devontae Adams is getting in, right? It's just if he gets in, well, maybe we ladder that one. How about that? Last one for me here. Now, Tyson, this is my divisional dog teaser. Colts plus 11, Raiders plus 15.5, -120 on DraftKings. What the hell are you thinking? I know everybody's out there like, you're crazy. Raiders, Colts, Jonathan Taylor is going to be back, I believe. He was banged up. Tyson, I think he's going to be ripping and ready and roaring to go. With Anthony Richardson, this is going to be a run-first team. They've been trying to have him throw the football. When it's run-first with Jonathan Taylor, you know what that opens up? I think this is the best version that we may see. Those big bombs that he's capable of throwing down the field against this Texans defense that, we just saw last week. How many times did Jordan Love just rip him apart through the air? Now, he had some turnovers, so if that game would have been close. You run the football, you control it, control clock, have Anthony Richardson take a couple shots downfield. Plus, Tyson, Nico Collins has shredded up this defense in the past because it's a zone idiot split from my boy Gus Bradley. Well, he's not there anymore. Does CJ Stroud trust Tank, though? Stephon Diggs, more of a man type of beater. We'll see what he can do against the zone scheme. We'll see. I mean, Joe Mixon has been their weapon on the ground. I think DeForest Buckner's coming back. So you take that away. I love it, especially getting double digits in a divisional game. Yum, yum, yum. On the other side, Raiders, this is where you're crazy. Plus 15.5. Tyson, I'm scared, right? Because all the Raiders did was talk all offseason. Oh, we got the Jordan rules for this one. And, we know what they're doing. But this is when you got to answer. This is when you fire up. This is Antonio Pierce saying, come on, boys. We got rid of the cancer in the locker room with Devontae Adams. We got Gardner Minshew who's ready to make a statement. 15.5 over 2 touchdowns against a Chiefs team. Now, what's going on here? all of a sudden, is Devontae Adams turning into Randy Moss? Or not Devontae Adams, DeAndre Hopkins turning into Randy Moss? The guy can't separate. He can't separate against you and me. Are you kidding me? Is Xavier Worthy down the field? I don't know. Tyson, I'm having a hard time thinking that they blow out the Raiders. The Chiefs don't blow out anybody anymore.
I mean, that's true, but the statement that Gardner Minshew's made so far this season is that I suck. That's what he's been telling us loud and clear. You're crazy to play these at these massive numbers. This is just rage. This is rage fuel.
I'm loving it as they just beat the 49ers by 10, the Saints by 13. They don't beat anybody. They don't blow anybody out.
Yeah, especially, I mean, Vegas won a game last year against them with Aiden O'Connell throwing the ball like 4 times. So anything's possible, I suppose.
And Alexander Madison's in the backfield. Come on.
He's plus 175 to win a touchdown, which might find its way into our Discord, people. The link is in the bio here. The group name is I Said What I Said. We're going to have tons of different plays and parlays in there for you later in the week as we kind of move closer. It's more of a player prop thing for the most part in that Discord. And that's the fun. That's the fun. Yeah. So, yeah, a lot of live plays. But it's hard right now as we record on Thursday night. Some of these markets aren't even open. Like in that Chiefs game, I think you can bet on Travis Kelce and Xavier Worthy is it as far as like receiving yards right now. And those things will open up. So that's where you want to be. And all of our college stuff as the week goes on, same thing. And then we're going to try to hit some dingers tomorrow night in the World Series.
Yeah. The World Series is coming. I'm pumped for that. Like, subscribe, and share the show on the way out, guys. Smash the like button on YouTube. Podcast, 5 stars if you haven't. Let us know what you guys are playing this weekend. We got our college football episode that we just recorded, or that's out already. That's why you got to stay subscribed. So everything that we got is coming down the pipeline. It's just right in your feed and ready to go. Enjoy the weekend of football. We'll be back early next week breaking down what we saw on the professional gridiron and the collegiate gridiron, letting you know our thoughts on that. So we'll speak to you guys then. Peace.